Hello there, good morning. If you just rolled out of bed and have got nothing to wear, don't worry, we've got this year's hot new fashion. It's called being slouchy, but being chic. Yeah, slumber chic, a good excuse to stay in your tracksuit all day. And it's all girl action at the cinema this weekend with Halle Berry, Reese Witherspoon and Eva Longoria, the ones to watch. Also on the programme, Babies Against All the Odds. We find out how a doctor has helped thousands of women overcome miscarriage. Amazing story. First though, tonight, Coleen McLaughlin is launching a nationwide search for women to star in modelling campaigns, real modelling campaigns. Coleen joins me in just a moment. First though, let's have a look at the show.
The door's open. Hi. And the girls head straight for the cakes.
Going to be looking for some fantastic legs, and that is to be part of a major brand and to model for them.
And there we are, and Coleen joins me now, and that looked really good fun actually. What I love about it is it's real women, so this is open to all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, all shapes and sizes. We went all over the country looking for girls to take part in ad campaigns. It was like I never set out to do, you know, what I do for Georgia and Asda now, sure. And it was giving other girls that opportunity that I've had, which is fantastic.
Oh, that's really good. So you wanted to sort of share it a little bit, because you've had such a great time. It's been amazing, hasn't it? It's been absolutely fantastic.
I haven't expected to do anything that I've done, and yet it was to share that experience, and it was good because I've been through it, so helping the girls along with the modelling, with the photo shoots and stuff like that, and giving them advice was really helpful for them.
Sure, no, it would be, because like you say, you were kind of thrown into it. I mean, you know, when you were at schoolgirl, and you were a schoolgirl, you didn't think any of this was going to happen, for goodness sakes, and it has. And I think the reason that it has is because people like you. You're very likeable, you're very down to earth. No, you are. You know, you always are. What you see is what you get, and I think people really warm to that.
Yeah, well, I got on with all the girls. You know, we had some tears, we had loads of laughs, but it was a fantastic experience, and the girls were great. You know, especially the ones that come in really shy and not so comfortable with the body, and walked out a different person. You know, they were really confident and felt good about themselves.
Oh, that's great, because what we're saying is we're not saying that all of these, you know, models were not allowed, really, were they? You sort of stereotypical model type. This was women that maybe, I don't know, they probably wouldn't have had a chance if this show hadn't come along.
No, I think what we want to do is see if there's room in the advertising world. We don't want to change it at all, you know. We just want to see if there's room for these women who are, you know, more curvier, you know, different shapes, different sizes, to be involved in these campaigns. And you'll have to wait and see whether someone's successful or not. But I think there is, and hopefully we are going to change part of it. That's really good.
More power to you, absolutely. Because we're always, I mean, we were just talking the other day about you know, how celebrities try to stay slim, and everybody's under a lot of pressure, particularly in Hollywood, to stay slim. And you think that in the old days, I was saying yesterday, you know, like Marilyn Monroe and people like that would have been told to go away and lose weight.
Yeah,
it's mad. It's absolutely mad, isn't it? It's crazy.
I think, you know, a lot of people are under pressure, especially with the media today. I've never felt that way. You know, I have lost a few pounds now and again, or gained a few pounds, but not a major. But I do feel for them people that feel that they have to.
Well, you've got a great figure, very normal. You know, it's very, very normal. What, about a size 10, I guess?
10, yeah.
A size 10, a sort of perfect little size 10, which is great. But you know, the thing is, you could, if you wanted to, you could have gone down that road of, like, you know, ending up that little skeleton and being a size 0. That would be awful. But the thing is, that wouldn't be you.
No, and that's what I'm not against. You know, this size 0. If the person who is, if you're healthy and you're happy, well, fair enough. But I'm never, you know, I don't think I'd be healthy if I was a size 0, because this is my build and this is the way I am. So it does take, you know, if I eat, I put on weight. If I don't eat, which I've never tried, so I wouldn't know what happens. But if I diet, then I'll lose a few pounds.
But you're right, you're supposed to be a size 10, and that's the way you are. If you were any smaller, you would look too thin. If you were any bigger, you start to feel a little bit. And then that's when you try and lose a few pounds. And that, you're like everybody. Everybody's exactly the same, absolutely. So look, as well as the show that's coming out, what else is happening? What other things have you got on the
I've started working on a book to come out, which is a style book. So hopefully it'll be, you know, a lot of the advice that I give to the girls in the programme, and off the back of that, but it touches everything. So I've only just started working on that, and hopefully that'll be enjoyed.
Oh, that's really good, because your book, you've already had a book out which went to the #1. beat your man's.
Yeah.
I bet that was funny. He said, no.
Well, it's come out a lot before, man, so they weren't out
but still,
at the
it doesn't
same time.
matter. It doesn't
but
matter.
No, it was nice.
No, it's really good. We saw a little picture of the two of you. Wedding plans toddling along, quite your thing?
Good.
Good.
A lot of pressure, but
I know, and there will be a lot of pressure on that one. It's the biggest day. It's a huge big day. I just hope the two of you are able to enjoy it, without all the hoopla and all the madness, that's for sure. And of course, you're at your column every week as well, which is great. And that's really good.
Yeah.
And what about more clothes? Do you want to be doing more design? Is that something that you want to do as well?
I'm not sure. I'm still doing the Georgia Asda, still working with them. So it hasn't been talked about. I'm focusing on me booking the programme and everything first. But we never know. In the long run, it could be.
Fantastic. Well, listen, more power to you. Really, it's absolutely excellent. Good luck to you with everything that you do in the future. Hope the show's a huge success. As we said, it's on tonight. Which will be great. So we'll be watching that. And if it goes well, I hope you get another one.
Okay, thank you.
Great to see you, love.
You too.
Really good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Now, all this week we are launching a model competition of our own. We're searching for mothers and daughters that want to take to the catwalk. Here are the details. We are scouring the country in the hunt for Britain's best undiscovered mother and daughter models. The minimum age for entrance is 16 and you must both be at least 5'8" tall. You could win an introduction to Independent, one of the UK's top model agencies, a year's supply of the latest Model Me hair care products, and keep your style up to date with haircuts from Tony and Guy for a whole 12 months. To enter, you need to take a head and shoulder picture of you both on your mobile phone and send it to 60001. Messages cost 50p plus your standard network charge. Don't forget to include your names, where you're from and your vital statistics. All terms and conditions can be found at www.gm.tv/terms, and suitable pictures may also appear on our website. You can enter your picture for free via gm.tv.
She wouldn't think so, though.
And you've all been sending in your entries this week. Thank you so much for them. There's Christine and Eileen. Don't they look fantastic? And Claire and Susan, there they are, looking good. All these mummies, they look like sisters. They must have been child brides. Next week, we'll be meeting the judges, so keep all your entries coming in because we're having such good fun looking at them. Now, 1 in 5 women who get pregnant will lose a baby due to miscarriage. Joining me now is Leslie Angus, who suffered the heartache of 4 miscarriages. Also, Professor Leslie Reagan, who's carrying out pioneering research, which is more than welcome. Great to see both of you. Leslie, you are now the mum of 2 lovely wee girls.
I am.
But it's been a hard road getting there, hasn't it?
Yes,
lots and lots of pain and suffering. Was the first pregnancy okay, or what happened to you?
No, I mean, the first time I got pregnant, I miscarried, and then I managed to have the second pregnancy. I managed to have my daughter.
Right.
And then 2 pregnancies later, miscarried twins at 12 weeks, which was terrible. I mean, it was really heartbreaking. And I was referred to Leslie in St Mary's in Paddington, and I'm very lucky because, unlike lots of people watching this programme, I've now got an 8-month-old daughter.
Fantastic.
But it's been a long journey.
It has been a long journey, and it's fantastic that you've got your daughter. Absolutely brilliant. As you said, an awful lot. Look at that wee face. That's a great picture. That is a great picture. She's absolutely beautiful. But it's hellish when it happens.
It is.
It's absolutely hellish. And also for everybody, obviously for you and everybody talks to you, but for your partner as well, for your husband too, it's really difficult.
No, it is hard, and that's why the work that St Mary's do is so important. And the fact that the research labs are under threat is, in my view, absolutely outrageous.
It is absolutely outrageous because, the thing I remember when it happened to me, and people said, oh, do you know what, it happens to so many people. It's like 1 in 4, 1 in 5, And I said, is that supposed to make me feel better? Because that actually makes me feel worse, that there's so many more women out there feeling like this, it's something it's just happening to too many, isn't it?
It is, and we need to understand more about it, and I have 2 daughters and I don't want them to go through what I've been through.
That's a very, very good thought to have, isn't it? It would be nice to think that when they grow up, that maybe we understand a bit more about this, and maybe there is a much better. You've got beautiful kids. You do make beautiful babies. They're lovely, absolutely lovely. But it's fantastic the work that's been done, Leslie. It really is. But how can you help, and what sort of stage are you at, would you say?
Well, I think what we've been able to do over the last 15 years or so is combine the clinic work with the lab work,
right.
the research work. And because they're juxtaposed or quite, close together, we can take the clinical question into the lab, we can do some experiments, we can take the results straight back and try
Fantastic,
them out.
Yeah.
And, this lovely lady is one of our 80% success rate.
80%?
So we see about 1,000 new couples every year who've had, by definition, 3 or more lost pregnancies. They can't get there until they've clocked them up.
Yes, of course.
And what we can say is that it may take a little bit of time, but that with careful investigations, many of which have been developed in our research laboratories, 80% of them are going to eventually go home with a live take-home baby.
Fantastic.
And this lady's living proof of it.
No, it doesn't. And actually, hearing your story and what's going on just will give hope to so many people. It really will. But I'm anxious about the fact that you might be under threat. Is this because of lack of funding or what?
Well, we've got to refurbish our laboratories because they are very old. You were saying you feel outraged. I think I moved past that point.
Right.
I just want to get it sorted out.
You're a scientist. The logical mind goes forward.
I just want to get it sorted out because when I think about it, if when Leslie Angus had come to me, we'd had this problem with the labs that were running on go slow, I couldn't say to her, well, OK, come back in 5 years when it's sorted out or when the hospital's been rebuilt or whatever. We just got to get on with it now.
Yeah. So the work continues under difficult circumstances.
The work continues and we are actively fundraising.
Right,
and we've had a lot of support, both from the hospital and from a wonderful group of fundraisers.
How much do you need to raise, do you know?
I need $1 million.
OK, that can be done.
And we're well over halfway, which I think is pretty impressive for a group of amateur fundraisers.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. But the thing is, it's so important, the work that you're doing. All charities struggle at the moment. It's very difficult for all of them, very difficult, because to know which ones to help. But this is so fundamental, being able to have children.
When you sit in the clinic and listen to the stories that some of these couples have gone through, the least I can do is,
just
keep going.
Absolutely, but you've got an amazing job because it's life-changing what you do, totally life-changing. When it works, as you're saying, in 80% of the cases, it will work. And people will go home with a baby.
It's very special for them.
Fantastic. Are there many babies that have been named after you?
Quite a few.
Boys and girls, of course, because Leslie. That's amazing.
Spelled differently.
That's OK, though. That's absolutely OK.
One of the things that we ask all of our patients is, would they please send us a photograph when the baby's born?
Oh, yeah. Have you got a baby wall?
Oh, well, we've got walls and walls and walls and walls and walls of photographs, which is lovely.
Oh, that's amazing.
And the other thing is that those patients tend to remember us. Every year at Christmas we get a photograph of this baby a year older, and a year older, and a year older, which is also special.
Oh, that's amazing. I love the fact that, you're sitting there, all scientific, and there's just babies everywhere. Pictures of babies.
Well,
it's brilliant.
Quite human too.
No, it's absolutely brilliant. It really is. Continue the great work that you're doing, obviously. And what we'll do is we'll put all the details on the website and also some help and advice as well. And great to see you and enjoy your beautiful daughters.
No, will do.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks.
Right, OK, it's time for a quick break now. When we come back, the bills are piling in, aren't they? Which ones do you pay off first? Martin Lewis is here with advice. And it's a blockbuster babe weekend with the likes of Halle Berry, Reese Witherspoon and also Eva Longoria, all at the movies. Hi, welcome back. Still to come, if you walk to work in your trainers or you do the school run in your tracksuit, you will love the new fashion. It's all about being comfy, isn't it? We'll show you how to do that in style, though, later on. Joining me now, though, James King with the week's latest movie releases, and there's some crackers. Before we do that, though, the Oscars are coming up. We don't know what's going to happen, do we? Is there going to be a ceremony?
I think they'll happen. They might, if the worst case scenario is that they won't happen in quite the same way as usual. But I don't think we're even going to get to that because the Oscars are a big deal for Hollywood, so they want them.
Sort it.
They want them.
Get it sorted out. OK, predictions. What do you think the best picture is going to be?
OK, best picture, I think, is a film that came out a couple of weeks ago called No Country for Old Men.
I've heard a lot about this. I want to see it.
Tommy Lee Jones is in it, and it's a tough movie, actually. If you look at a lot of the Oscar nominations this year, They're pretty tough films, quite cult films, quite violent films, and this is one of those.
Right.
But it is a very good movie. And the Coen brothers directed it. Directed lots of films, yeah.
Love them.
And I think it's their time. A lot of it is about timing with the Oscars. I feel it's their time to win Best Picture. So, No Country for Old Men, Best Picture.
Fantastic. I love the Coen brothers. Fargo.
Very good film.
Absolutely brilliant
yes.
film. What about Best Actor?
Best Actor, I'm going to go for Daniel Day-Lewis for this. Now, actually, if you kind of look at all the other awards ceremonies, there are hundreds in Hollywood at the moment. He's been winning all the other awards, so I'm not particularly going out on a limb saying this. His film is called There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
Again, quite a sort of culty, dark, brooding film out in the beginning of February, so not long to wait for this one.
OK, I look forward to that.
Great performance from him, though. He always gives great performances.
Best Actress?
Best Actress, I'm going to go for Julie Christie.
Wouldn't that be great if she got
Yes.
it? Really?
Away From Her is the film. She plays someone with Alzheimer's in it. Actually came out at the cinema last spring. No one really paid much attention to it. So it's out on DVD now. You can actually get it on disc.
I
if you
didn't see it.
haven't
I'll
seen
grab that. I'd like to see it, actually.
But a fantastic performance from her. And she has won before, but that was back in the 60s.
Yeah,
so
it was for
again,
Darling or something?
It was for Darling, yeah.
Well, I don't remember it, obviously.
People have told you about it.
Oh,
Lorraine.
clearly, yes, of course. So, right, well, we'll hold you to that.
End of February, we find out.
Right, and we'll find out and we'll see how well you've done it. What about what we can see right now?
OK, let's start off with Cloverfield. This has been absolutely huge in the States, and it's been one of those big hyped movies all over the internet. Lots of buzz about this film. And it's about a thing. I won't tell you exactly what it is, because that's part of the surprise.
Right.
Something attacking New York City.
Again?
And it's all shot by someone with a video camera.
Oh, OK.
So it's shot like a home video.
Right.
Like Blair Witch.
Oh.
Let's have a look.
Let's look at
Cloverfield.
that. That's interesting. That's the head.
There was
of
a
the
lot
lady.
of oohing coming from you there. Yes, Statue of Liberty.
Oh no!
And that's actually the trailer. That scene we just saw there has been sort of on the internet for a while because they shot that to hype up the movie. The first thing they shot.
I don't know if I'm that comfortable considering what happened in New York. I don't know about that. I found that quite harrowing, and I wasn't even part of that. I think that'd be quite difficult to watch.
I think because it's shot by someone with this
makes it
handheld
really
video
real,
camera,
doesn't it?
it does make it very real. And a lot of the actors were just told to imprise, so they kind of don't really know what's going on. So the chaos is real as well.
I'm with you.
Very good film, Cloverfield,
Okay.
out this week. If you want a bit of an emotional roller coaster, if you want to feel like you've just had 10 rounds with Mike Tyson, you should go and see Things We've Lost in the Fire. A couple of Oscar winners in this, Halle Berry, Benicio del Toro.
Oh, I like him.
She befriends her recently deceased husband's best mate, Benicio del Toro. The problem is he has a very bad drug habit, so he's a bit of a wreck. But as I said, 2 Oscar winners in this, so you know you're going to get some very good performances. Halle Berry, Benicio del Toro. Let's have a look.
What'd I do?
You got Dory to put his head under the water.
Oh, just a cute trick.
He's 6. Harper put hers under when she was only 3. It was something that Brian tried and tried to get Dory to do, but he couldn't. And that victory today of getting Dory's head to go under was not supposed to be yours.
Very intense.
Yes, very intense, very worthy. You know, when they signed on the dotted line to do these movies, they thought, oh, we might get some awards for this, because there's a lot of big emotional scenes in this. They're not going to, but it's out there. I think it's a little bit too worthy, but it's, you know. We'll move on to something a bit more lighthearted. This is Penelope. Kind of fairy tale, really. We're almost into half term now, so something for the kids. Christina Ricci, Reese Witherspoon, James McAvoy, who we love, who I always seem to talk about whenever I'm on the show.
Yes, I know. He's making a lot of movies. He's like Samuel L. Jackson. He never stops making films.
And this is about an heiress who's born with a curse that only love can lift. Now, the curse is quite unusual. The curse is actually that she has a pig nose.
That's some curse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Penelope is the film. Let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
He's the one.
What are you waiting for?
The real me is inside here, just waiting to get out.
What if the curse can never be broken? Come on, you gotta get out of there sometime.
Penelope! Penelope!
Momentum Pictures invites you to look beyond the mask.
So what, are you hiding from the law, or is that just a bad nose job?
Open up your heart.
Going off on your own like that, you know, you inspired me.
And see the beauty inside.
Okay,
cute.
yeah.
It does the quirky fairy tale thing very well. Obviously, it's about a girl with a pig nose. Of course, it's a fairy tale. But Christina Ricci, you know, she is that sort of quirky type of an actress, isn't she? So that's cute. And then finally, we have Over Her Dead Body.
Right.
This is a romantic comedy. It's like a romantic comedy version of Ghost, a wacky version of Ghost. Eva Longoria stars, and she is a ghost who tries to sabotage her ex-boyfriend's new relationship with a psychic. Not Psychic Sally, someone a bit like that.
Okay.
Yes. So it's like a wacky version of Ghost. Eva Longoria. This is it.
Why did she come here? I mean, what does she want to tell me?
She says that she can tell that you're torn between being faithful to her memory and the feelings that you have for me.
The hell I did? Ow! Oh!
What happened?
See in the eye. It's okay. Tell him the truth.
She says she just wants you to be happy, Henry, and she can tell that you're happier with me.
You are screwing with the wrong woman.
That's it. I mean, she wants you to move on.
Oh, she's gone. No, I'm not. I'm right here. I'm right here.
That might be funny.
Yeah, it's a little bit painful in parts.
Oh,
it's a bit heavy going.
Right.
But Eva Longoria is playing up to that whole Desperate Housewives diva image that she has. So she's doing that kind of role. I thought it was a little bit hard going.
Okay. Thank you, love. That's great. I'm definitely going to go and see Penelope with the girl with the funny old nose.
And Cloverfield.
And Cloverfield. But there's many girls in LA with noses that are very strange, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, love.
Cheers.
Now, most of us will be paid this week. Hurrah! For the first time since mid-December. So if you're worrying about which debts to pay off first, then money saving expert Martin Lewis, he's here with some real good advice.
If you've got savings and debts, it's no game. You could be throwing away thousands of pounds. But what you need to do depends on which type of debts you've got. First, credit cards. Imagine you've got £1,000 of debt on a high street credit card, typical interest rate 18%. That means it's going to cost you, whoop, £180 a year. But imagine you've also got £1,000 in a top savings account. After tax, it's only going to earn you 4% interest. That's £40 a year. So, pay off the debt with the savings account, £140 a year, better off. When it comes to mortgages, it's a slightly different game because mortgage rates are so much lower. So, if the after-tax interest you earn on your savings is higher than the interest rate of your mortgage, then you're better off putting the money in the savings account. But for most people, it won't be. So financially, you should pay off the mortgage with the money. When it comes to student loans, it's a completely different picture. The student loan interest rate is set at the rate of inflation, the rate at which prices rise. So, if you borrowed enough money to buy a basket of shopping, you'll have to repay enough money to pay back a basket worth of shopping. There's not actually any real cost to you. In fact, it's so cheap that instead of paying it off, if you put the money into a savings account, rather than paying off your student loan, and then you'll make money. That looks nothing like me.
Martin Lewis joins me now. It wasn't bad. Well, it wasn't a bad old likeness, for goodness sake. We have had, as you can imagine, loads and loads and loads of questions all week, and I was going to just kind of run through some of the ones that we picked off that are, I guess, the most common. The first one up is, I've got £5,000 in savings, but I've got credit card debts of the same amount. Should I pay off the debts with my savings? What do you think? Is that a good idea?
Yes, 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 yes.
Take that as a yes.
Was I clear enough?
It was.
Look, it's very simple, as I explained in the film. Debts cost you more than savings earn you, so pay them off. Right. The big thing that everybody comes back to me on with this is they say, but I'm worried in case there's an emergency and I need an emergency fund and I need the cash for an emergency. So you've got to think about it like this. OK, so you've now... Imagine the two scenarios. First of all, we don't pay off the debts with the savings and you have an emergency, you take the money out of your savings, but you're still paying the high interest for the debts.
Yeah.
Now imagine you have paid it off, so you've got no debts and no savings. And you have an emergency, and may I say, an emergency means a proper emergency, not a new dress or some new clothes. It means your roof's falling in, you can't afford to feed your children.
Shoes?
Yeah, no, shoes aren't going either, not even a little bit. Emergency is proper emergency. Then you would spend on the credit card again. I never said cut that credit card up. So in the meantime, because you've paid off the debts with the savings, you've been saving money, then you have to borrow back. You've still got debts on the credit card. Well, beforehand, if you hadn't paid off the credit cards with the savings, you would have still had credit card debts.
True.
So you're no worse off, but in the meantime, you've saved a lot of money in interest.
That makes sense.
The old-fashioned emergency fund budgeting, when you've got debts, throw it out the window. It's logic for 30 years ago.
Right, OK. No, that makes sense. Just got a bonus from work. I can't decide the best use for it. Should I clear the balance on my 0% credit cards or put the money towards the mortgage? What do you think?
Oh, now there's a tricky question because if you've got 0% debts and you're managing that well, that's very, very cheap and there's no need to pay it off. Your mortgage is more expensive. However, we're suffering from what everyone's calling the credit crunch at the moment. And that means banks are finding it more difficult to borrow money, so they're not lending as much to us, and when they do, it's more expensive.
Right.
So if you have a fantastic credit score, what I would suggest you do is you pay off the mortgage, leave the credit cards at 0% and keep moving from 0% card to 0% card. If you don't, then there is a real issue that when that 0% debt ends, you won't get another one, in which case you're far better off clearing the credit cards because then the rate would shoot up and it's a hell of a lot more expensive than the mortgage. So the answer depends on how good your credit score is. Most people should probably play safe and get rid of the credit cards.
OK, that makes sense. Now, here we go. I've inherited £6,000. My husband and I differ on how the money should be spent. He says we should get an ISA. I say put it towards the mortgage. I say buy shoes. What do you think? What do you think? Is it an ISA or the mortgage?
It's definitely not shoes, Lorraine.
OK.
Right, in this case, a cash ISA is a tax-free savings account. You can put up to £3,000 per person in each tax year. The best at the moment, 6.1% with iSave. What you have to do is compare the after-tax earning on savings, and there's no tax on an ISA, with the cost of your mortgage. Most people, if you're lucky, will have a mortgage, if they're still in a decent rate, that's cheaper than 6.1%.
Right.
In which case, putting the money in the cash ISA will win. If you have an expensive mortgage above 6.1%, then pay the mortgage off. OK, that makes sense. What about student loans? Student loans, don't pay off your student loan any more quickly than you need to. Right. The key thing to remember about that is student loan is the cheapest long-term borrowing you are ever going to get. Now, it may come, right now you pay off your student loan, so that's gone. And then in 2 years' time you need a mortgage or you need a car loan. And that's going to be a lot more expensive. So you're better off keeping the cheap student loan debt, putting the money in a savings account, using that when you need it, so you'd have to get a smaller mortgage or a smaller car loan because the student loan debt is cheaper. Unless you're never, ever going to need to borrow again, don't bother clearing off the student loan. Instead, put the money in a savings account, high interest, earn tax on it. All of this is on the website, by the way, in detail. And there's even calculators that will work out with your mortgage whether you should or shouldn't pay it off for you.
Cool. Thank you, love.
Pleasure.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much indeed. We'll take a very quick break. Still to come. You normally have to choose style or comfort, but now even the celebs are dressing down in this latest trend. It's called slouchy chic. There you are. Being comfy. All the top looks from the high street to the high end. We'll see in a couple of minutes. Hi, welcome back. Now, it used to be a crime against fashion, but now you can live in your tracksuit and be right on trend. Joining me now, fashion journalist Louise Rowe. Louise, this is music to my ears.
How exciting. Hooray!
I know.
The fashion industry has done a cosy, comfy trend, and I'm loving it. Kind of come through from LA, Jessica Alba, Gwen Stefani, Cameron Diaz. We've seen them, you know, going to Starbucks, looking ever so chic, but as if they hadn't really bothered.
Well, I like that.
And I kind of like that.
That's quite a difficult look to achieve.
Yeah, even on the catwalks we saw Prada with a bit of a pyjama look.
Yeah.
You see now, and also I'm channeling a bit of a PJs in my dress from
Very
Henny's
nice.
here.
Very nice.
But if we start, we've got loads of looks to run through here. So Louise is starting out with a beautiful Angora cardi from French Connection at £50.
Looks so comfortable.
You probably wouldn't wear this out to Starbucks, but if you did throw on a pair of trousers, that top and cardi is gorgeous.
That's a beautiful top. I love it.
Socks from Warehouse, £5.
Yeah.
Very sexy, I think.
I think they're cute.
Just in case you have a Nescafe ad moment where the gorgeous next door neighbour comes round for a cup of sugar. Thanks, Louise. Next, we've got Nesh, who's doing the Oriental look.
Right.
I love this. Bit of a kimono.
That's good, Nesh. Yes, we like that.
All from Debenhams, including the slippers, only £12. Trousers are £18, and the top is £22.
I really think that's rather cute. You could wear that just for kind of, you know, slouching around watching the telly, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Very elegant.
I like these slippers as well. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, very comfy. Next up, we've got Melissa. Now, this is my personal favourite.
Right.
This is a bit naughty. I love the eye mask, and they're actually very useful. They're great. This is all from Coco Ribbon, which is a great little boutique. Loving the butterflies. The gown is 165, the top is 85, and then if we can be a bit cheeky and check out the French knickers, they are £38.
They're so cute.
And M&S slippers for £15.
Do you know what? That is so cute. And Valentine's Day is coming. And if you didn't want to be all sort of red or black, that's much more subtle, but still very ooh la la.
A little bit easier than trying to lace up a corset on your own.
And a wee bit more expensive than normal, perhaps, but that's okay.
Yes, but it'll last.
Love the little sort of Uggy-like things.
You can wear those out, you know, to Starbucks, pick up your coffee. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
And then next we've got Andy in some trousers from Oasis, the good old stripy PJs.
Fab.
Top from M&S, only £9.50, and the jumper £35 from M&S. And then we've got, you're used to seeing Ugg boots, these are Ugg slippers.
Oh, they're real true Ugg slippers?
They are.
They look very comfy.
They are £70.
So this is all about slouching around at home, but not being in your minging old tracksuit that you've had for 150 years. This is kind of, it's got something about it as well.
It's being a little bit chic, but as if you didn't bother.
Are those Ugg slippers £70?
Yeah.
Eek!
Yeah, a little bit higher. The sheepskin is going on there.
70 quid, oh, that's dear.
And then we've got Louise next up. Thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you, love.
Must say, this is not the Vicky Pollard look, OK, this whole thing. It's not about neon velour tracksuits.
No.
But this is a little more subtle, so we've got a bit of a nautical theme going on here.
Yes, it does look quite, life on the ocean waves.
Yep, Gap top, £22, trousers also £22, and some more Ugg slippers at 70.
Gosh, that is expensive. They are, I mean, they are good.
They
Do you
are.
know that there's not an Ugg to be had in New York?
No way.
No, they've all
Really?
gone. They've all gone. I tried to get a pair because I thought they'd be comfortable.
Perennial fashion, aren't they? They don't go out of fashion.
No, they're very good.
Thanks, Louise. And then we've got Nesh up next in a gorgeous maxi dress. Again, this is something you could wear out.
I like this.
This is from Topshop at £40. The jacket is H&M, $14.99. Look, that's the only bit of velour I'm going to let creep in because it's a beautiful purple, but on the whole, that's out. Midriffs are out and muffin tops are out. So this trend is about covering up but being comfy.
Do you know, that's pretty? See, on holiday, that kind of little dress with little flat shoes would be really sweet, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
Very, very sweet.
Wear that down shopping, for lunch.
And what about these wee slippers?
They are from River Island at £12.99.
They are escaping being granny-like because of the little bow and the little cheeky sparkle.
I know what you mean, the crochet.
Yes.
Crochet's back, Lorraine.
Is it?
Back in fashion indeed.
I want to get my crochet hook back out. Do you remember doing that at school?
Thanks, Nesh.
Thank you, love.
And then Melissa's bagged some goodies from the sales. So that's another tip. Head out to the sales. Cute little hoodie. I love that top. The cardie's from Oasis. Reduced to £20 from 40.
That's good.
Trousers, again, Oasis, reduced from 35 down to 15. And the jumper is only £4 from Primark. Bargain!
£4 for that?
Love it.
What a wee hoodie thing. That's
and
lovely.
I love a bit of leopard print. You've got to get that in. £2.50 from Primark.
Now, that's more like it. Never mind your 70 quid for your Uggies.
Exactly.
Look at them. They're great. They're very glamorous.
Bargain
and
basement.
Very, very nice. And the good thing about that is there's a lot of give in these kind of things. You know, you don't have to be uber slim to wear them. You know, you can...
Basically, you
nice.
can have your big hot chocolate and your chocolate cake and it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
No one's going to notice.
Thank you, love. It's beautiful.
Thank you. And then last but not least, we've got Andy in a slightly yoga-inspired sporty outfit.
Actually, that's lovely.
Do your stretches in that?
That's really nice.
The top is from Pyjama Room, which is a brilliant store for these kinds of things, £30. Jumper, also Pyjama Room, £65. And the trousers, a little bit of cashmere. It's all about the cashmere trackies this season. They're from the White Company at £60. And slippers, £10.
That's really good.
M&S.
And again, with this, you know, that's not cheap, and you've got to be careful when you're washing it. That's the thing.
You do. It is about luxury fabrics, though, this trend. So if you can splash out...
Excuse me.
M&S have got some great cashmere bottoms and tops.
Fantastic.
So we love it. Absolutely gorgeous.
I'm just taking a swig of tea because I'm going to start coughing. They're lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Absolutely
Andy.
gorgeous. And that's it from me today. Tomorrow on Entertainment Today, we've got Badly Drawn Boy and Keely Hawes, new star of Ashes to Ashes. Did you ever watch Life on Mars?
Love that.
Best thing on television. I absolutely loved it. Well, this is Ashes to Ashes, where Gene Hunt goes to the 80s. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to see that. I should be watching that with a cup of tea in those gym jams in my size.
idea.
You have a lovely time. I'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.